I'm Khyra Steiner, and you're listening to Elaborate with K. Elaborate with K. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Elaborate with K. So, as you can see, we have some new decorations again, and new decorations because today is a very, very, very special day, possibly the most special podcast episode since our first one. Today is my birthday. It is my 21st birthday today. Happy birthday to me. And so I wanted to do a special little birthday episode for us today to kind of celebrate. Obviously, when I'm filming this, it's not actually my birthday, but I thought that we could just, have a little chat and talk about what it's like growing up, just kind of having a little reflection moment and talking about birthdays and all of that. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, yes, today is my 21st birthday, and I'm excited. For me, birthdays have always been a really big, huge deal, honestly. Growing up, I always had like a birthday party. I just love celebrating, and I really like hosting, but I love celebrating and just, getting to hang out with my friends and the people that mean the most to me. I love birthday cake. Birthday cake is my favorite ice cream flavor. It's my favorite thing to have at a party. I love a good birthday cake. And so it was always a great excuse for that. But yeah, so I think let's take a little stroll down memory lane first. So I think some of my favorite or most notable birthdays when I was 3, my family and I took a weekend trip to Disneyland. And I grew up in LA, so Disneyland was not that far, but we did a little weekend there. We had park hoppers. We stayed at the Disney Hotel. And it was, from what I remember, at least I was 3, but it was a really fun time. I have a bunch of pictures of me and my little Cinderella princess dress twirling around. I got to have lunch with all the princesses, and yeah, it was just a super fun experience. So that was great. And then after that, what did I do? When I was 9, I had a spa birthday party with my friends. So we rented out like a room in this nail salon. We all got to get like mani-pedis and get our nails done. And they had like food and snacks for us. And I believe it had a Wii with like Just Dance or karaoke or something. And that was super fun. My mom helped me. She always helps me with like candy and like party favors. So that year we did little mini purses, like pink purses for all my guests. And I think we put like a mini nail polish and some chocolate bars and something. And they said Khyra's 9th birthday. My theme was hot pink and black and white zebra print. Very, very, very on brand, but it was super cute and it was really fun. I still remember it to this day, so it was great. And then my 10th birthday, we had a party in my backyard and we got a jumper, a bounce house, and I believe my parents barbecued or we got like pizza. I don't remember what we ate, but I remember it was Hollywood themed. And so that was super fun. We had a bunch of like film, entertainment, Hollywood style decorations put up all around our backyard. We had this really cute jumper and that was super fun. One year, me and some of my friends, we went to a movie theater. This movie theater near my house, they have a little patio that you can rent out. So we all went, we watched this movie, and then we sat on the patio and had pizza and wings and popcorn. And it was just super fun. It was like only me and a couple of friends, but it was really cute. And then I'm trying to remember, I did have a sweet 16. That was fun. It was at this really, really cool little like speakeasy place. It was set up like a candy store. And then you walk in and it's this really big place. And they had like, we set up a photo booth and they had a little like geode cave. It was really cool. We had a taco stand, so that was fun, and a candy bar. Again, my mom always helped me with a candy bar, so it was super fun. And then most recently for my 20th birthday, I had a little I had just like a cute little get together with some of my friends in a courtyard at my apartment. I ordered canes. I like decorated. I got these little like pink heart balloons from Party City, but it was super fun. Like I had a great time. We played different versions of Uno, music, and again, it was just me and like some of my best friends. It was super fun. I had a great time. And so that was for when I turned 20. And so now I'm turning 21. And I will say, when I turned 20, I think that was a big deal birthday that a lot of people don't talk about. I think people always talk about obviously when you turn 1, when you turn 10, you hit double digits. 15 or 16 is always like a big one for sure. 18 is like, oh, you're a legal adult. But 20, I wanted to do something really fun for 20 just because I'm just like not a I didn't want to do just like go to dinner, which I've done in the past. I wanted to actually like do something and celebrate because I feel like, I don't know, entering into your 20s like is such a huge, I think it's a big deal. I think all birthdays are a big deal, but I think that was kind of an interesting thing of like, oh, like I'm in my 20s now. Like you're no longer in that teenage decade period of your life. I was like, oh, I'm in a new decade. So that was why I had a party with that. But going into 21, 21's always been an interesting age for me just because I've always been on the younger end of my classes in school and just my groups of friends and everything. I have one of the later, not the latest birthday. My birthday's in November. And so I've always been on the younger end in my classes, and which meant that I graduated high school at 17 and I'm going to be graduating from undergrad at 21, which is crazy because I know a lot of people like have been 21 since their like sophomore junior years, and I'm in my senior year turning 21. And so for me, 21 has always just been like, oh, that's when I'm going to graduate college. Like that's going to be, when quote unquote real life starts. Like, oh, getting a full-time job and doing the whole 9 to 5 or full hours, find a job with like benefits and everything. And so for me, 21 has definitely always been this age of like, oh, that is when I'm growing up. Like when I'm 21 is like, okay, that's real life is gonna hit me like that. But now that I'm a lot closer to it, I am very excited about it. I think birthdays are always a huge deal, and I think, I understand a lot of people don't like to celebrate or make a big deal out of their birthday, which is totally fair. But for me, I think that birthdays have always been a big deal. Like I think it is a big deal that you were able to make it another year. Life is crazy and unpredictable and unexpected. And so I think it is definitely worth celebrating another year on this earth. But I also wanted to just, talk about growing up. And I think that being, being 20 or turning 21 is crazy because I still remember things that happened when I was like 10 or when I was 8. And over the past few summers, I worked at a summer camp, and the kids in the camp range from the age of 6 to 12. And then there's a teen camp that's like 13 and up. But the kids that I've worked with the past few years, last year I worked with 5 and 6 year olds, or 6 and 7 year olds. And then this year I was working with 8 and 9 year olds. And working with kids is just so funny because one, I'm not actually that much older than them. Like I can fully remember being their age and like going through the same things they're going through, and they're like, oh, I'm going into fourth grade, or I'm going into third grade. Like I remember learning my multiplication, doing multiplication charts every single day in third grade, and just all of these different things. Like I remember it. But talking to them and like, I don't know, just being the adult figure around them is really crazy because there's a lot of things where it's like they complain that, you're a kid, right? So if you and someone else that you thought you guys were going to be best friends for the rest of your life, if you guys start not being as close as you used to, that as a 7 year old, as an 8 year old, that is a huge deal. And even, I mean, as an adult, like that is definitely still a big deal for sure. But I think it was really interesting of changing that mindset and like switching the switch of like, or even, if they got hurt or they didn't get to go on a field trip or they didn't get to go to the pool today because their parents forgot to pack their swim clothes. And you're like, it's okay, like we're going to swim again in 2 days. But I had to remember that as a little kid, like 2 days when you're 8 is a way bigger portion of your life than 2 days when you're 20. Right? Like I've had how many 2 day periods, right? Like so many, but they're little kids and they've only been here for a few years. And so it's just interesting kind of just seeing that switch. And I think that's definitely allowed me to reflect and just, think back to all of the things that I've learned since then. And I will say with every year, everyone always asks you on your birthday, like, oh, how does it feel to be a year older? Like, do you feel any different? And it's always no, because this is it's another day. Like yesterday, I was 17. Today I'm 18. Like, I don't feel any different. And it's like, with each year comes more responsibilities or more opportunities, but you don't necessarily feel that within the first 12 hours of turning this new age, And so it's kind of crazy to look back at like things that were, like your entire life when you were 9 years old was this one TV show that now that I'm 20 is no longer on the air. Or, my favorite thing to do and like the things that I begged my parents to do, like I wanted a bunch of Build-A-Bears when I was little. And now it's funny that I'm like, oh, well, if I want a Build-A-Bear right now, like I can go buy it myself and stuff like that. And just seeing like all of the changes and everything that's happened. But I think that, over the past 2 decades and 1 year of my life, the past 21 years of my life, I've met so many just wonderful, amazing people, and I can confidently and proudly say that, like, every single one of my birthday parties didn't have the same people. I've changed and grown as a person, so, there's definitely those people that have been there for the past 10 years and they've been at all my birthday parties, or they want to celebrate with me, or they tell me happy birthday if we're not in the same city, and I appreciate those people more than ever. But then it's also just seeing the people that you choose and that you want to celebrate with every year, because again, I think birthdays are a big deal, but I don't see them as a big deal. It's like, oh, I want to have like a raging party, I want to have like this huge blowout every single year. It's like I want to have a chance to kind of just sit and celebrate and be happy about the things that I've gone through and experienced and accomplished, and like celebrate the fact that I'm here another day with the people that I care about. And so just seeing all of the people that you choose to celebrate with, and just people that matter to you. And it's okay if that changes or if that switches every year, because you're growing and you're changing, and sometimes people grow apart, and sometimes you grow apart and then grow back together, and that's not a bad thing. Like, you're gonna change. And I think I'm as much like me physically, I'm still Khyra. I'm the same person that I was when I was 2 years old or when I was 1 years old, but in the past 20 years I'm different. Like, I've developed a personality, I've changed, I've gone through almost 15 and a half years of school. Like, I've gone to so many other states and I've met so many other people. I'm starting a podcast. 1-year-old me didn't know what a podcast was. Like all of these different things. But I think I love taking every birthday, like the night before, the night after, or just sometime around your birthday, to always reflect on where you were, where you thought you'd be at that point, and just like all the amazing things that have happened to you in the past year. Because I think that a lot of times we can get stuck on what we wish would have happened or what could have happened, and not focus enough on the things that did happen, and just finding the positive and the joy and everything. Because I think there are so many wonderful little things, big things to be grateful and thankful for. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in like what's going to happen next or what didn't happen that we forget like the really cool things that did happen. So yeah, so as I embark on this new journey of 21 years old, I want to thank all of the people who have made a difference in my life so far, all the people that have just celebrated with me, have made the past 21 years of my life just amazing and so wonderful. And I'm so thankful and grateful to have all of you in my life. And I'm so excited for another year of celebrating with you all, of meeting new people that I haven't met yet, that maybe I'll be celebrating 22 with. But yeah, I'm excited for this new journey. And thank you guys for taking this first part of the journey with me. I can confidently and proudly say that at 20 years old, I started my own podcast, which is crazy. But yeah, so let's see what 21 has in store for me. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, tuning in to Elaborate with K, and I will catch you next Sunday. Bye! And yeah, talk to you next Sunday.